At what point did you realize it was a game?
I realized that I wasn't playing the game quite the way I thought I should when I did the AMA performance, which was that was the night before my first single came out.
I remember that.
Yeah. And it was...
Oh my God. I remember that so
I got in so
vividly.
much trouble. It was crazy.
Wait, what happened in that performance?
It was the For Your Entertainment, which is the first single I put out.
Great song.
Yeah, Dr. Luke.
Everyone was like,
produced
this
it.
shit's going to be a hit. The
Well,
label's
and that
like,
was
this shit's going to be a hit.
The thing I had to fight was that one thing, well, answer your last question. I think when I got off of Idol, the management company that gets you, they kind of thought, okay, we're going to do our typical like white guy with a guitar type thing. I don't play guitar.
Was it Jonathan Shank?
I don't know who that is. No.
Was it, what was the company back then?
Oh, 19.
19. It's still
Yeah.
19 today.
They're really nice people over there. They were so sweet, but they're used to doing a certain formula with people that came off the show. And I met with them and I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do like top, like, you know, adult contemporary pop rock. I want to like do pop music. Like I want to do some edgy shit. I want to go for it. And I want to do a combination of like sort of, you know, throwback classic rock things, but I also want it to be like now and dance and all that shit. And so that's what this song was. That's what For Your Entertainment was. It was Dr. Luke. It was pop. It was sexual. It was like, you know, the lyrics are very much like, you don't know what you got into. I'm not what you think I am, kind of, you know, it's pop music, right?
Yeah.
And so we did a video a couple weeks before and it was sort of like bondage light fashion, you know, it was like sexy club, dark vampire vibes, you know, it was a very cool video. And then we had this performance scheduled and I just felt like I had to like be wild. Like I was just feeling it. It was like, this is my moment. I'm on a award show stage. I had sat there and I watched I was towards the end of the show and I'd seen like Rihanna up there. I saw Gaga, like all these like fabulous, like badass performances. And everything at that point was sort of like edgy and dark and dramatic. And I had some dancers on stage and I got a little fresh with one of them. I, you know, got like put his head towards my crotch. And then there was a dancer that I like, you know, I think I smacked her ass or something. And then I made out with my bass player.
I remember this.
And
it was iconic.
And it was just like, we didn't rehearse it. It just happened.
So is everyone surprised on stage?
Well, it kind of like I'm used to like freestyling. Like
Yeah.
with music too. Like I like going off script and sort of just going, and that's not necessarily what TV likes. They don't love it when you do things that they're not ready for. So they got kind of upset, and there was like a parent Christian group that called in that was like, the children. And I was just like, what's the big deal? Like, I've seen performances like this for years. You guys are just mad because a gay guy did it. That's literally why you're
It's
mad.
true.
You're mad because there's a double standard.
Yeah. So do you regret it in the moment, or do you regret it at all today?
I don't regret it now. I think right afterward, when I realized, I didn't regret what I did, because I was like, what's the big deal? Like, in principle, I thought I had every right to do it. And I stood my ground and defended myself. And I was like, this is a double standard. And I remember I got pulled off of Good Morning America the next morning because it was the same network. And they were like pissed at me. So they yanked me for a little while. And then I did a different morning show and they asked me about it. And I was like, well, you know, like, what about Madonna and Britney and Christina years ago at the AMA or the VMAs? And what about, you know, Prince, what he's done on stage, or Madonna or whatever? And they showed a clip of Christina and Britney and Madonna kissing. And then they cut to my clip of me kissing my bass player, and our mouths were blurred out. Like there was we were censored. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, what is actually going on? And I looked at them, I'm like, well, you've proved my point. I don't really need to say anything else. Like,
yeah,
that's weird.
So in that moment, do you feel your team turning against you? Is anybody standing with you?
I think I was a little oblivious to some. I think I chose to sort of put my blinders up a little bit because I didn't really know how to process what was going on.
I get it.
You know, I was just like, but I could feel it got a little icy. You know, with certain people, not necessarily my management company, but the label were a little scared. You know, because listen, this was going to affect sales. You know, and I get it. I get where that's the business, you know? So they were still invested in the project, and they weren't giving up, but the feet got cold, you know? And I think certain avenues, like, you know, closed the door. You know, there were certain radio people that just didn't want anything to do with it. They canned the song.
Yeah, I remember that.
They kind of like were about to push it and then just kind of took their foot off the gas and they went to another song, which was probably smart.